We made it.
I know, finally.
Through the marauders, the cons chasing us, the car crashes,
Cannibals,
the
Muties.
Forest fires.
Three-legged muties.
We overcame quite a bit in our journey across country just to get back here to Pennsylvania.
But we're finally here, so I hope you're happy. This journey has been a long one. So what are we even here for?
I have been on level 32 of Jewel Crunchers forever. I am just about to make it to the next level. Hold on, almost there. Had to get the daily bonus.
All right, and we are gathered here today to watch a new Netflix original movie called How It Ends, a movie by David M. Rosenthal, which is a prolific director of movies that no one has ever fucking heard of, which is really surprising because this movie was so good. What is How It Ends about, Ian?
That's a good question. I would love for you to tell me what it's all about, Chris.
So this is what How It Ends about. Y'all listen up. Y'all, I don't even say that, but I'm saying it here. So How It Ends is a little movie about the guy from Divergent who has impregnated a woman and then has to fly across the country to tell Forrest Whitaker that he wants to marry his daughter. But during this time, some sort of nuclear apocalyptic event occurs, and so he cannot fly back, so he has to drive with Forrest Whitaker back to his lovely girlfriend who he impregnated earlier.
You're just assuming she's lovely. You don't know. She could be horrible.
Well, we don't know, and that is the point of the movie. So, during that time,
she's apparently a drunk boat driver. Spoilers.
Holy shit! So the whole theme of the movie is, well, no, okay.
Just stop right there.
All right, we're done. We're done. This was a good movie.
It's kind of a quest movie.
Yeah.
Just trying to get across the country to get from Chicago to Seattle, and overcoming the challenges that arise in between. Most of the individual challenges that present themselves don't matter much, other than that they are in the way. Characters enter and then leave the story without having seemed to have served much purpose other than overcoming this specific challenge that any one of the scenes in this, just about any scene in this movie could be cut and not affect the integrity of this movie.
So, when I watched the trailer for this movie, I thought it was a story about two characters and their relationship. That being Will, the young man from Divergent, I don't know his fucking name, actor McActerstein. He looks like generic male actor.
Theo something.
And Forrest Whitaker and their relationship.
Which is tense.
Which is tense and shown in the trailer, and I thought it was going to be those two bonding. And
or at least overcoming
finally,
their...
and coming to some sort of respect by the end. Which sort of does play out in this movie. But then ends abruptly halfway into the movie, and the movie still decides to go on, and you're like, why the fuck am I still watching this? And why are you recommending this to me, Netflix?
Yeah.
Let's get into this a little bit. Besides the fact that it's so goddamn predictable.
Yeah, there's how many times did we see a scene start developing? Okay, it's gonna do this, then that, and it's gonna end like this, and then it happened just the way we said it would.
So Forrest Whitaker clearly has some sort of military background. They show that because
27 years in the U.S. Marines.
Okay, because as Will is coming back and learning that something happened, they go into his apartment, and Forrest Whitaker's loading up his knife in a backpack and all this shit. And you're like, oh fuck, this is Liam Neeson from Taken. He's gonna fuck some guys up on this road trip. But none of that actually ever comes to pass.
I definitely wanted, there were some opportunities for a more badass older dude, like an older Clint Eastwood type or an older Liam Neeson type. Like in particular, there's a scene at a gas station where our main character gets confronted by two guys with a gun. I would have loved to have seen, in a really outstanding action movie, which wasn't necessarily intended to be completely an action movie, but in a really good action movie, you'd see him come out like, kick him in the knee, grab the gun, clock him on the head.
Something like the
something
show
really
the
cool,
skills,
something action, not just.
I wanted to see that. Like that still would have been predictable and tropey, but at least it would have been interesting.
Yeah.
Or a little more entertaining.
Yeah. I mean, I've never even watched Taken. I'm so uninterested in that type of movie, but I think it needed a little bit more of that for this.
They're dumb, but they're fun.
Yeah.
And this is dumb, but not even fun.
Yeah.
The whole movie, at least the premise is, this father and this boyfriend need to work together to save or go find this this woman. But we don't care about her at all. And it wouldn't matter if she didn't become a prominent character in the movie later on, but she does. There's screen time applied to her.
Yeah.
You know, in the third act. If that wouldn't exist, then it would be a different story. Because then it's just like, that's just the MacGuffin. And that would be fine.
Good enough.
But the fact that like you get to spend so much time with her character at the end of the movie, and you don't care about her at all, so it didn't mean anything. If they would have interspersed some like flashbacks or something that grew a relationship between the father and Will and the daughter, and to show some of those dynamics, that it would have mattered more.
Hey, what time is it?
6 in the morning in Seattle. My mother just called. What happened last night?
I'm sorry. He was into me from the second I got in.
Why did you move my daughter away from me? Moving was Sam's idea.
If I'd asked for his blessing last night, he would have said no, so I didn't. I'm really late. Okay, I gotta go.
Okay, call me when you get to the airport.
What was that?
Will, something's wrong.
Sam.
Will,
Before we get any further, let's just say this movie's terrible.
Would you recommend it, Chris?
No, it's fucking terrible.
I would also not recommend it, so I don't feel bad about
And we're
spoiling
spoiling the rest, and if you care about that, leave it in the comments. Tell us.
So
it's
there's a
fucking
whole
better.
huge gap where things happen, challenges arise, he overcomes them, and a series of them happen after the kind of theme of the bonding relationship ends, but before he gets back to his girlfriend, his fiance. So it's like all of that. Why does any of that matter? I think you should have had Forrest characters Whitaker make it to like the edge of the city, and then in some great sacrifice.
Save.
And they
everybody.
kind of did that scene, but
That was the worst sacrifice scene I've ever seen in my life.
They took and even besides that, they took the legs out from under it by not putting it at the right time in the movie.
Yeah.
This movie was very weirdly paced, we should mention, especially because it didn't have like a traditional movie structure. It almost, I wouldn't be surprised if this wasn't written to be a miniseries, but then somebody, Netflix or whoever, decided to produce it, but they said, well, we don't really think this has the legs for the miniseries. Let's make it into a single movie, and they crammed the story in, and we get this weirdly paced thing that hits a lot of events, but maybe they didn't really have the time to do them the way they intended to. Got
Did you ever
chopped
see the movie
somewhere.
The Road?
Yes.
Or the
Not
book?
read the book, but I've seen the movie.
That's a much better telling of this kind of story, right? I mean, it's a bit different in the fact that he's trying to get his son to somewhere.
Yeah.
But still, it's like A to B. That's the plot.
Yeah.
And the things that happen along
Like
the
Book
way.
of Eli.
Sort of, yeah. But there's so much more character development and so much more emotion to that you actually feel for something. And they have those flashbacks with his wife and stuff. It's super heartbreaking. And in this, I just didn't give a fucking shit about any of these characters.
Yeah.
Because they point Forrest Whitaker out as a douchebag at the beginning. who's just
Overly
some
controlling.
Dude.
He's very antagonistic
And
towards Will.
Will is just so paper thin that he's not even a fucking character.
Yeah.
He's just that good-looking dude from Divergent.
His character is malleable and very different in scenes that almost don't seem compatible.
Yeah,
at times he's just the
He's
dumb.
super upset because Forrest Whitaker had a gun. Who fucking cares if Forrest Whitaker had a gun? That's not like shocking.
At times they go out of their way to make him seem like just some dumb city boy who doesn't get how the real world works. But then at other times he's like, on a few occasions, he's an incredible badass.
He's
out of nowhere.
He's a fucking race car driver.
Yeah.
And
he's a stunt car driver. And he all of a sudden knows how to use that gun he clearly demonstrated he didn't know how to use earlier in the movie.
Yeah, I don't know how many times I rolled my eyes during this movie, but like my eyes are fucking tired from rolling so much. so much predictable
It's just like
crap in this movie. It's just, and then at the end, I'm pretty sure I said, if it goes to credits right now, I'm gonna shoot myself in the head. And then it fucking went to credits, and now I gotta go shoot myself in the head.
Yeah, it's unclear why it ended the way it did. I don't know if they just didn't know how to end it.
It's so ironic that the movie's called How It Ends, and then they're like, we don't know how to fucking end it, so it just got to credits. This movie cost a decent amount of money.
Did it?
It had to have. It looked nice.
Yeah, they definitely had a significant CG budget. A lot of especially like a lot of like skyscapes were done CG.
The CG was fine, but there was a lot of like vistas and like it's just cool scenery. That was one of the positives. Like you got like the change of scenery, although this road trip felt like it went on forever. But why would you put money into this script? It's so bad. It's cheap. It's so loose. It's so paper thin.
Almost none of the events move the story in any significant way. They don't usually help develop your characters, especially because characters will come in and spend a significant amount of time like they're supposed to be one of the main characters.
Do you remember that girl, Ricky, who's in this movie for half an hour? And we're like, oh shit, Ricky.
And I thought she was just in it for the rest of the movie, and then she just gets upset and leaves for very little reason.
She murders some folks. What's this called? This is how it ends. You know how this ends?
This ends with me not recommending it.
It ends with a wet fart and the end of Forrest Whitaker's career. Hope you're happy, Netflix. No, it doesn't. It doesn't end with his career. He's a good actor.
Yeah.
He's probably like so happy he died 45 minutes in the movie. He's probably like
maybe he got sick of it. Like, write me out of this shit.
No, he probably wasn't supposed to be dead. He's just like, this movie's fucking terrible. Just kill me now. Kill me now. And they're like, okay.
Just give me a minute. I love the music on this. It's so good. Colors in this game are great, right? Like, you'd almost expect it to be a paid game, but it's totally free. Freemium. You know how it is.
So what do you think
Whatever
happened
this
to
was.
the world? What do you think it was?
Do I care is the better question.
Do you think it was the aliens?
Sure.
I think it was the aliens.
Sure. I don't even care enough to speculate.
I thought maybe at the end it was going to be a Cloverfield movie. J.J. Abrams like peeks his head out and is like, you fuckers.
Could have been. Maybe that's fair.
This is Cloverfield. And then the audience just sighed. I'm like, oh, God damn it, J.J. Damn it, J.J.